Why is the general view of the soul? What the meaning of the
Backbone.
soul? Backbone and tara'ib?
The area between the chest, I think.
The ribs
The ribs, yeah.
specifically. Allah, the ribs. So, okay, we have now backbone and we have ribs. Now, do you know that scientifically, between the backbone and the ribs, there's something called the seminal vesicles? Do you know what the seminal vesicles are?
Yeah,
Why is the seminal
I do
vesicle?
not. It's part of the accessory glands that create the semen.
All right, so this seminal vesicle is located, by definition, between the ribs and the backbone.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. According to Mr. Einstein, the Muslim Lateran, your seminal vascule are located, not just located, ladies and gentlemen, they are scientifically located between your backbone and the ribs. Because this ignoramus is trying to justify Surah 86, verses 5 through 7. You all know it as the famous gushing fluid from between the backbone and the ribs. Now remember that with a straight face, he just told the ex-Muslim that what is located between the backbone and the ribs, which by the way, the ribs, if he would read what his tafsir scholars say, is referring to the ribs of a female, specifically the area around the neck, right? But he said it is scientifically proven that the seminal vascule is located between the backbone and the ribs. You heard that, lady and gentlemen? Okay, now this applies mostly to men. So as you see, there is a picture that I have. It's from the Cleveland Clinic. Copyright 2021. There's the male sexual organs. You got your bladder. You got your seminal vascule, which by the way, I put a red circle around it, that he says is between the backbone and the ribs. You got your prostate. You got your urethra. You got your penis. You got your testicle. And then you have the vas deferens. Okay? Now, I don't know about you. Now, I don't know about the guy either, but does anybody see backbone and ribs in that picture? I see the whole thing being inside the pelvic girdle, right? I see it being right behind the bladder and just above the prostate, right? But you know what? Forget about me. So I asked my good buddy Grog, so I said, Grog, from an anatomical standpoint, are there any male or female reproductive organs located between the backbone and ribs? And lo and behold, Grog says yes. No, I'm kidding. Grog says no, none of the male or reproductive organs are located between the backbone and the ribs. Goes on to say, and the males, the primary reproductive organs are the testes, the epididymis, the vas deferens, the seminal vascule, prostate gland, and the penis. The testes are located in the scrotum, outside the pelvic cavity, while the epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vascule, and prostate are within the pelvic cavity, below the level of the ribs and backbone. The penis, of course, is external, right? I'm not even going to read the female because it's kind of pretty much the same thing. Let's go into the last part. The space between the backbone and the ribs primarily contains structures like the lungs, the heart, parts of the digestive system, meaning the esophagus, your stomach, and major blood vessels, your aorta, along with muscles, nerves, and connective tissues. The reproductive organs are located lower in the body, within or below the pelvic cavity, and are not positioned in the thoracic or upper abdominal regions defined by ribs and backbone. Ladies and gentlemen, a word of caution. This is my PSA. If you ever go to a doctor and said doctor is a Muslim, ask them to please give you a non-Muslim doctor. I'm really beginning to think that these people are dumber than a rock. The dude is acting like he even knows the topic. Sadly for him, this has been one of my topics that I've tried to debate these idiots, I don't know, for the last 10 years. He's clearly never picked up a scientific book. He's clearly never even looked up the basic anatomy picture of where the male and female reproductive organs are located. This moron of the highest caliber just lied to this guy who's probably now questioning himself and thinking that the Quran is miraculous. Ladies and gentlemen, I challenge any Muslim, including Mr. Muslim Latin here, including Mr. Orthodox Muslim, hell, including Allah himself, to debate me on the science of the Quran and watch me wipe the floor with these morons. Thank you for watching, and please tag the idiot on my video after I upload it, of course.